thank you for this day. We thank you for the blessed week that we had. We ask that you would continue to bless us and continue to pour into us. We ask that you would continue to speak to us this morning. We thank you for the words and the praise that went forth in front of this. And we ask that your Holy Spirit would just stay here and hold us down and continue to be with us. And in your holy and righteous Son, Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. My opening verse is Jeremiah 12, verse 1. You got it? Jeremiah 12 and 1. Righteous art thou, O Lord, when I plead with thee. Yet let me talk with thee of thy judgments. Wherefore doth the way of the wicked prosper? Wherefore all are they happy that deal very treacherously? So our subject this morning is going to be, why God? We're going to ask God why. So Jeremiah, in this chapter right here, he was known as the weeping prophet, but he complaining to God and he asking God why. So what he doing is he asking God, why do the wicked prosper and why are the evildoers so happy? Now before we go down this road, let's not act brand new. Just because our car don't smoke and we got good carburetors now, we all got air conditioning up in our house and our clothes don't come from our big brother or big cousin because we all have been there. We all have been to a point to where we didn't try to do something or seen something happen to somebody and we asked God the reason why. I'll give y'all a prime example with me, and it was my fault. Okay, I wanted to buy my own truck and start my own trucking company, right? So I get all excited, I get my LLC, get my tax ID number, and so I needed a few more things like a DOT number and insurance and stuff like that. So I believe in, if you want to know something, ask people that's already doing it. So I go and talk to a couple of people, and they telling me you need this and need that. And then they told me how much it was going to cost. And that didn't match my monthly income. So what I do is get all depressed. I'm like, man, I ain't going to be able to do this, and I ain't going to be able to get this, and I ain't going to be able to get that. So one day I'm online, I'm looking at trucks, I'm scrolling through, and I saw a truck on there, and I said, just for the heck of it, the truck all the way up north somewhere. I said, I'm going to just fill out the little paper and see what happens. So the truck was $60,000, but it was like a 2006. It was an older truck. So I filled it out, and about 2 days later, the woman called me and said, is this Mr. Roosevelt? I said, yes, ma'am. How you doing? You know, I get proper on the phone. Yes, ma'am. How you doing? She said, well, we see that you filled out to get financed for a truck, and we can finance you for it. You just need to get a newer model truck. So I'm like, newer model? She said, yes. If you get a newer model truck, you get what you want. I said, okay. I said, well, I ain't doing nothing right now, but thank you. She said, okay, well, we keep it on file for 30 days. Just call us back and let us know. So I could have got a truck. I just didn't do it. So I went on again. I was looking at a trailer. I saw how much the trailers cost. I didn't even try. So what I did was, in that instance, I'm like, God, why you ain't let me have the money to do this and let me have the money to do that? And the whole time, all I had to do was, like the old folks say, get my ducks in a row, save my money, get my DOT number, and the little insurance and the rest of the stuff like that. Because the woman had already told me I could get a truck. And if you get a truck, that's most of the battle gone. So how can I sit here and blame God, talking about God why, when he done made a way for me? All right? And so we come to another point of, we will say, well, if God's so good, then why would he let Christians be so depressed? Why would he let marriages end? Why would he let pastors and teachers get so tired that they will leave pulpits? Why would you let this happen to us when we're supposed to be your kids and you're supposed to love us like this? You let people who don't even like you disrespect you and take your name in vain. We see people on TV all the time. If God's going to do something, he can strike me down right now. And people do stuff like paint upside down crosses and do blasphemous stuff. And we like, well, we know God real, but God keep letting these people slide. So we feel like, why would God let us sink to the bottom like this? Why would God allow us to do this? And then we get to a point where we see a lot of rich people who get all these tax breaks. These people make millions of dollars a year, and they got to pay taxes. And us in the working class, if your check $2,000, you're going to see 1,200 of it. We paying stuff that we ain't even see. Section 8, food stamps. I tried to get food stamps when I had no job. They said Ro made too much with 4 kids. We pay for retirement that probably some months ain't we even see. They just tax you for all kind of stuff. So the working classes will keep this thing going. So we will sit here and be like, God, we working, because you say if a man don't work, he don't eat. We working. And they taking all our money. And then you get to a point to where it's like, okay, God, well, then you got these people in politics who making all these laws and don't care about you at all. You got these people that's making laws that make it hard on honest people. These people don't love you at all. Why can't you let some people like us get into politics who got a little more sense and a little more grounded than them? So God, you messing over us all kind of ways. We getting kicked, our texts, our money getting took. We ain't got no money for real, and then we got to worry about the police and all this type of stuff, all right? So come with me to verse 2. In Jeremiah 12:2, he said, Thou hast planted them, yea, they have taken root. They grow, yea, they bring forth fruit. Thou art near in their mouth and far from their reins. So basically what this saying is, you let them have whatever in their heart. Whatever they desire, it take off. And they claim to be your children, but you nowhere near their heart. Now check this out. This is going to trip y'all out. Y'all know who Steve Jobs was? Steve Jobs was the owner of Apple. This dude was worth $10.2 billion. And guess what he was into? Eastern spiritualism, Zen and Buddhism, and they called him a seeker of knowledge because he looked for transformative experiences on LSD. So the rumor is he came up with the touchscreen iPhone when he was on LSD doing his Buddhism thing. At this point, anybody know who the Rothschild family is? If you don't know who the Rothschild family is, check them out. They became wealthy because they got into banking a long time ago and they just made a lot of money. So the Rothschild family is worth $500 trillion. And these people are known to be Satan worshipers and occultists. The British royal family, we know who that is, who stole a fortune from black people. You can look it up. Black people was the British royal family first. They worth $28 billion and don't even bow down to pray to nobody but Satan himself. This is public knowledge. The Church of Scientology, who don't even acknowledge God, is worth $2 billion. Now let me trip y'all out. Anybody know or ever heard of the Church of Satan? Y'all know what the Church of Satan is? Well, Satan got a church. So in 2019, the Church of Satan was worth $117 million. In 2020, they was worth $136 million. 2021, $156 million. 2022, $175 million. In 2023, the Church of Satan is worth $195 million. So one day, me and my daddy was sitting down on lunch, and I told him that, and he said, how much is the Church of God worth? I said, it should be priceless. You shouldn't be able to put a price tag on the Church of God. It should be one of them things where you use a word to describe it that means priceless. Because you can't put a price tag on God. But, so you see all these people that's nowhere near God, that's worth millions and billions or trillions of dollars. And you will look at it and say, God, what is going on? This don't match up with what you told me. You told me I seek the kingdom first and all my needs shall be provided. Now, let me stop this real quick. Who got $1 billion worth of needs in him? Man, you give some of us $1 billion, we wouldn't even know what to do with it. We're going to make Cadillac the #1 dealership. Man, us and our cousins, you know we all got them country cousins. We're going to be up there buying all them dually trucks and Cadillacs and all that. Man, you know how we're going to act. So sometimes we're looking at stuff and seeing what other people have. But we don't even need it. Because I ain't going to lie. If I had $1 billion, I'm going to pay off all my kin people and disappear. I'm going to still come to church, but they ain't going to have my cell phone number or nothing. You want to talk to me? Holler at my mom and dad and let them come through, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So, you know, it's all this money out here, but we don't even have them type of needs. I mean, let's be honest. Most people in debt because of a house. Your house, what, 100,000, 200,000? You get $1 billion, you're going to go bonkers. All right? So in Jeremiah chapter 12, I'm going to read verses 3 and 4. It said, but thou, O Lord, knowest me. Thou hast seen me and tried my heart toward thee. Pour them out like sheep for the slaughter and prepare them for the day of slaughter. How long shall the land mourn and the herbs of every field wither? For the wickedness of them that dwelleth therein, the beasts are consumed, and the birds because they said it. He shall not see our last end. So what he's saying at this point is, God, you know me. You know my intentions. You done tested me. I done gave you my last $20 and they had no lunch for the rest of the week. I done came to church on a quarter tank of gas and had to pray for you to let me make it the rest of the week, and our Bible study is on Tuesday. God, you testing me. Why you don't take all these fakers out? Why you let all these people who claim to be close to you and do this in your name and do that up in your name, and you still keep letting them roam the earth? Why? But if you look in verse 5, God answered Jeremiah, and this is what he tell him. He said, if thou hast run with the footmen, and they have worried thee, then thou cannot content with the horses. And if in the land of peace wherein thou trusted, they weary thee, then how wilt thou do in the swelling of the Jordan? So what Jesus was telling me is, if we can't handle these little old problems with $40,000 a year, how you gonna handle wealth? Because $40,000 a year problems is different from $5 million a year problem. You should look. A lot of these rich people kids strung out on drugs. Like whenever we was going to school, I was in high school with people, right? And this tripped me out. They had parents who didn't work. They just had money. So during the football year, we had a guy who came play with us. He was a quarterback. He didn't last long because we kept hitting him and knocking him over and stuff. But he had a little get-together at his house, right? So we never seen nothing this big. They got a house on a hill. They got 2 kids. It's him and his brother. They got 4 four-wheelers and 3 dirt bikes, and he got a room with another side room in the room, and he got just stuff. You know, they got this pool and stuff. So we wondering, like, this during the week, during the summer. It's like a Wednesday or Thursday, but it's during the summer. We like, hey, where your mom and daddy work at? They don't work. We were shocked. We said, man, our mom and dad is at work. So it's possible that we saw people have so much money that they don't work. So we didn't know nothing about stocks and bonds, and people actually got a loan to get business started. We thought people already had that money, right? So if we can't contend with these little bit of problems, how we going to contend with big problems? All right, so how can I sit up here and try to be a servant of God or be a leader, and I can't handle leading my kids? Why am I complaining about the money on my job not being enough, and I'm making more than what I made last year, and I make more than a lot of people that's on the job with me? How am I handle, if I can't handle a prejudiced boss on my job, how am I handle a prejudiced police in public? If we can't handle prejudiced authority, how we going to teach our kids to handle prejudiced teachers? So there was a time whenever Ray was at school, and he was getting picked on. And I guess it was going on for a little while. And so he kind of, Ray not the type to just jump off and fight. He more quiet to himself. He'd rather walk away. But he told me about it. And I said, look here, bro, we men, from your grandpas to your cousins and all that, we don't argue back and forth. I said, if any one of them dudes tell you something, they go off in their mouth. Now, some people wouldn't agree with that. But my thing is this. They'll say, tell the teacher. He told the teacher. His teacher white. Tell the principal. The principal white too. He told him. You know what they told him? Ignore it. And that's the same thing that they used to tell us when we was at school. Ignore it. So Ray had talked to his grandpa. His grandpa had told him the same thing. And what we did that for? The boy got suspended 3 times in 1 month. But he don't have no problem with nobody picking on him no more. So if I can't guide my kids through these little situations, how am I guide people to God? All right? So we know, like, so far as my own business, I already covered that, but Rome wasn't built in a day. So sometimes we got goals that we want to reach. Sometimes it's going to take a while. Sometimes you got to make your plan and you stick to it. Now, it's going to take sacrifice because you might have something a little extra that you like. You know, all us got stuff that we like doing extra. Me, I like playing the Xbox. Me and Ray, he upstairs, I'm downstairs. We playing the game. I like playing that. So I could sacrifice the extra little $40 I spent on playing the game to benefit myself in the long run. So just because we can't get something right away, don't mean that we can't have it. Case in point, with the truck. The people I was talking to been having big trucks for 10 years plus. Like they've been having their own business. And I did the thing that the Bible told us not to do. I looked at all the stuff they could buy and looked at the stuff that I couldn't buy, and I compared myself to them. The Bible tells us don't do that. These people have had their own businesses for 10 to 20 years. I work for somebody. So you can't compare yourself to other people and think that because you don't physically have their money that you're not successful. We are successful in our own ways. All right? So in Jeremiah 12:6 it says, For even thy brethren and thy house of thy father, even they have dealt treacherously with thee. They have called a multitude after thee, believe them not, though they speak foul words unto thee. So God telling you that even someone's going to have some relatives who do us wrong. They're going to speak to you in your face and smile, and behind your back, they're trying to build a case against you. So if you can't handle all these everyday problems, how you going to handle the bigger stuff walking with God? And let's just take a little inventory. Think about the stuff we complain about. Sometimes we don't feel like getting up going to work in the morning, especially on the Monday or Tuesday, or the boss that got on your nerves, or they to put more work on you. You'd be like, man, I don't feel like it. I done even went to work sometime on Fridays and told them, bro, y'all better not ask me to do nothing because I ain't doing nothing. Now, I done clocked in on these people's jobs and told them I ain't doing nothing. Now how I'm going to handle bigger problems if I'm going to work just because I don't feel like it? I don't feel like doing nothing. So it tells us that even your own kin people will build a case against you. Now I've seen this numerous times with my dad and his brothers, and then they all came back to him crying, and I'm wondering what was going on. And that's around the time he started praying under the cover, and I'm coming in the house drunk calling him crazy, and he looking from under the cover calling me crazy. Who was the crazy one? Me. So what happened, like, a situation happened and they got mad with him and they'll be talking about him all in the street. And I'm his only son, so, you know, I'm the oldest, so I seen the side of him that other people don't know. Just like whenever Ray was with me, Ray will see sides of me that people ain't see. So I'm like, man, this ain't the man I know to just let stuff like that slide. You calling me, you get the business clear. That ain't what he did. He said, you know what, God gonna handle it. And put his head up under that cover and prayed. And till this day, every time they got a problem, they don't call my grandpa, they call him. I said, man, they borrow more from you than I do. You better make them buy you a Father's Day gift. So I got a couple more examples about complaining. I'm going to just breathe through them because my mouth dries, I don't know what. But in Exodus chapter 5, verses 1 through 22, the people complained to Moses that because of him and his talk of a promised land with Pharaoh, it made things worse for him. So this could translate into the enemy turn up work and it make it get crazy. They put things, a different workload on you, and that could make other people try to call you lazy. At home, your kids get crazy, and you and your spouse having a disagreement, and your money get funny. Another example I got is the people complained and said to Moses to leave us alone. So whenever Moses was trying to help him, he went to the Pharaoh that made things worse. They made things worse. Oh, I appreciate it, man. You're on my Christmas list. They had made things worse, and Pharaoh had tightened it up for him, and we can see this till this day. A lot of times, when you got hard decisions to make, or sometimes you come in a big choice in your life, stuff will start to get harder for you, especially whenever you listen to God. It'll feel like nobody have your back. The whole world will turn on you. And we've seen this with Moses. All Moses was doing was trying to set these people free. and he had a straight word from God, and he could prove God gave him the word. He could take his hand, put it in his jacket, pull it out, and you would see the stuff on his hand, he put it back and it's gone. He could put his staff on the ground and make it turn to a snake and eat other snakes. But for some people, that still wasn't enough. Now check this out. Every time these people had a complaint, God met it. They talk about food, God gave them manna. They wanted something to drink, God gave them that. But after they complained 5 times, God started to discipline them. So in Exodus 32, the people had forsaken the Lord, and the Lord orders the Levites to kill 3,000 people by sword because they worshiped the golden calf. Now they had no business worshiping the golden calf. God then took care of everything that they needed. He gave them food, gave them water, gave them shelter. What y'all praying to a golden calf for? That's the point I'm trying to make. They had $5,000 problems and won't deal with stuff like they got $1 million problems. You know what I'm saying? So just know that God will provide all your needs. God will give us everything we need. It's okay to ask God why. But whenever you ask him why, sit down and listen. Listen to what he tell you. He'll tell you why. He'll answer your questions. He'll give you everything you need. But we can't go to him in a certain type of way, like how I was whenever I wanted a truck. I was making a certain amount of money, and I wanted to just jump in the truck, not go through no process, and make 6 figures up in a year. And I was mad because I couldn't get it. God was showing me the way the whole time. He was just saying, be patient and you'll get there. And later on, I was doing calculations, and I actually had the money to buy a little bit at a time. I could have been driving a truck by now. Once again, my crazy self being hard-headed, missed out on something good. So just know, whenever you ask God why, he'll answer all your questions for you, all right? That's it.